Alright, welcome back to Chem 101. This is the first in a series of videos on nomenclature. And in this video I'd like to go over how we name molecular compounds. So remember, molecular compounds are those made from non-metals. These are found if we had our periodic table, right? These are found in this side over here of the periodic table, to the right, upper right part of the periodic table. So these are the nonmetals. Now, when we name these, there's a formula that we can follow where we're going to, I've given you a couple of examples here, but the general rule is there's going to be a prefix that tells us how many of the first atom we have. Then the name of the first atom. Then the next prefix will be how many of the second atom we have. And then the second atom gets a special ending, the suffix "ide." So let me go through a couple of these and just to show you how this formula applies. So CO2. So the prefix for one carbon would be mono. So we would say, or we could say, mono carbon. Now the prefix for oxygen, for the two oxygens here, is di. So it'd be di, and then instead of writing oxygen, we're going to write oxide. So the second atom, or the last atom, gets this suffix "ide." So monocarbon dioxide. Now typically when mono is the first, the atom is mono, we usually drop that. So we can actually erase mono. So this would be just carbon dioxide. What about this one? Well, we've got two hydrogens, so it'd be dihydrogen. Dihydrogen, and then here we have one oxygen, so it'd be mono-oxide. Now here's another rule. When mono and oxide start with the same letter here, we can actually just shorten this to monoxide. Okay, so dihydrogen monoxide. Let's look at this one. It says 2 carbons and 6 chlorines. So here we're going to say dicarbon, and then the prefix 6 is hexa, so hexa. And then instead of chlorine, we write chloride. Chloride. Dicarbon hexachloride. This would be dinitrogen tetraoxide. Di is 2, tetra is 4. This would be silicon, or we could say monosilicon. And here we have 2 atoms that follow. And so you can imagine this being prefix atom 1, prefix atom 2, prefix atom 3, depending on how many you have. So here we'd say silicon, dibromide, dichloride. For this last one, a chlorine and 4 oxygens, we could say monochlorine tetraoxide, but we would shorten that to chlorine tetraoxide. So that's how we name molecular compounds. We use the prefixes where the last atoms get the suffix "ide." Now in the next video I'll go over how we name ions, and then we can expand that to how we name ionic compounds.